G'day, mate, and welcome to Friday Facts 319 new t-shirts, and we have an Allure event, and I have a Mojo. You wearing a t-shirt?
Yes.
There we go.
Wearing a t-shirt, yes.
A t-shirt. It's not a Factorio t-shirt?
No.
Okay. I haven't got a Factorio t-shirt either. So...
Are you wearing a t-shirt?
Well, we're going to leave that question unanswered for this time. So...
Okay. Are you at least wearing pants?
Yes, definitely wearing pants. At least I'm saying so into the microphone. We're going to all hope that it's true. Anyway, there's a bit of a cold/flu going around the office. It isn't severe enough to dampen our spirits, and they don't like daylight savings. Before we move any further, wasn't there the cold and flu going around a couple of weeks ago?
There was a bit of a WoW Classic disease going through.
Yeah, I know. I thought they mentioned they had the flu going around a little while ago. All right, whatever.
But maybe there was.
I've been dealing with lots of Europeans lately that have been complaining about the flu and the sickness and how cold it is and everything else. And I'm like, hang on, just like 2 months ago you were complaining it was hot. Join the club. It's finally warm here in Australia.
Yeah, I had a hot day yesterday. And the day before that.
And the day before that. Yeah, I think it's been 30 plus C here all week.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The phone tells me it's currently a balmy 26 degrees Celsius. Yep. It's lying to me. Anyway, so they got new t-shirts, and it's the perfect weather for t-shirts, at least here in Australia. So they launched their classic grey t-shirt back in November, a long time ago, and they were asked when we're going to have new designs out. And I know I was one of the people that asked when we're going to have new designs, because I like the Factorio, 86% from memory.
Something like that, yeah.
And we heard a whole lot of nothing. It has been 2 years. And funnily enough, they've had Jaquita, Albert, and Alice, all working on the t-shirts. Now, Jaquita is the office girl. Albert's graphics. I can't remember what the third guy does. Help me out, Mojo.
Sure. Those things and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, we have they say multiple shirts, but really there's only 2 new designs. We have the inserter t-shirt and the green circuit t-shirt, and I don't know which one I prefer. Inserters are pretty important.
Oh yeah, they are.
But I think I prefer the graphics, the green circuits, or electronic circuit, I believe is the official title.
Going by the Reddit, everyone wants to buy the shirt.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a buy shirt, actually. I don't know if I want... Look, it's funny, none of the shirts have anything on the back, and I sort of find that a little bit disappointing. Because I personally wear shirts all the time that have, like, writing on the front and the back, and it's my go-to. And I'd like to see, maybe a horde of biters running across the back of your t-shirt.
Yeah.
Especially if the graphics are really good and people are not sure from a distance whether they're actual creepy crawlies or whether it's just printed on the t-shirt. But they have included 2 new things in the new t-shirt. So they've got the Factorio Guy tag, which is just a tag that goes on the shirt. It's one of those things that, honestly, if anybody's buying these things or these t-shirts, they're probably going to keep this tag forever. And they've now got the Woob logo on the inside. Along with all the washing instructions. So do not iron them, or at least don't iron the printed part. And I did look at the image itself, and it's called Factorio 319-Jesus, just for the record. The little Factorio Guy logo.
I didn't even notice that.
I just opened a new tab, seeing whether I get a higher quality version. Turns out you can't. What's on the Friday Facts is the best, the highest quality they've got. Because I'd really like a high definition version of that for, thumbnails and that sort of stuff.
Well, if you bought a t-shirt and then scanned it in, then you'd have a high resolution version.
Yeah, now they have more t-shirts in more sizes. I'm actually considering finally buying one. Because I think last time I looked at the postage was not cheap to Australia.
It wasn't amazing, though.
Yeah, we always get hit with the best postage. So yeah, we've got new t-shirts. They go up to XXL. So that's big enough to fit everybody. And they also printed a bunch of Factorio t-shirts in a ladies' cut. So you can get a ladies version now. And let's go to the store page. Yeah, it's just the plain Factorio shirt in the ladies. So we've got the 2 Factorio with just the logo and the percentage bar. We've got 2 electronic circuits on a dark green, a light green, and then we have the inserter on the brown and the yellow. I don't know. I sort of, yeah. It's a good start. I'd like to see more designs, definitely, and maybe more choice of colors. I don't know. I can't see myself wearing a apricot Factorio shirt, even with an inserter on it, or a Kelly green Factorio shirt with a green circuit on it. I just can't see myself.
Or the classic grey with the green circuit on it.
No, probably the classic grey with a green circuit on it. And funnily enough,
Although isn't the classic grey more of a... It's got a bit of a brown, I seem to remember.
no, it's called dark grey, and the large pictures look very dark grey.
I don't know. The one that I've got seemed a bit green and brown. Green or brown.
You've got a shirt, do you?
Yeah, it costs like $40.
Yeah. This is why
whole postage thing.
Don't have one. So yeah, they've updated the server room. They've got all the t-shirts on the other side of the server room. So you got poor overworked domestic computers on one side of the room, because they're not server grade computers, and we'll start a whole sub comment.
Oh, don't start that again.
Yep. And on the other side, we're using it for storage for lots and lots and lots of t-shirts. Lots and lots of t-shirts going by all the boxes they have.
And I'm actually kind of wondering, that seems like a bit overstocked with crap there.
Oh, look, I don't know. Like, we don't know. I think they published roughly how many shirts they'd sold last time during a previous Friday Facts. And how they'd had to order more in, but they didn't really give exact numbers. So
I seem to remember, yeah, they initially sold really well, and then they struggled selling like the last quarter or something.
It's probably fairly common because when new merch comes out, everybody rushes to grab one, and then you sort of forget about it. Which I have to admit, I had completely forgotten up until this Friday Facts that they sold merch. Had somebody asked me, I'd be like, yeah, they sold merch, but I wouldn't think to go out and buy one for Christmas for myself.
Well, if you go buy one now, you should get it by February. That's about how long it took mine to arrive.
Oh, wow. It was that bad, was it?
Yeah, I think it was the middle of January.
Well, they have said the shipping isn't super fast because they're doing everything in-house, which is probably Chiquita's involvement, running the office and shipping shirts. Because I did sort of laugh the previous Friday Facts 2 years ago that they had programmers packing shirts. It's a very expensive way to pack shirts.
Yeah, a lot of people did note on that.
Yeah.
And it was also noted that development stopped on, what was it, 17 at the time?
Yeah, it didn't stop. It just slowed down
16.
an awful
16
lot.
slowed right down.
It's 2 years ago.
Yeah, that would have been version 16, slowed right down to accommodate.
To accommodate shipping out lots and lots and lots of t-shirts. So yeah, they do say it'll get to a European address within 1 week, and North America within 2. Mojo's like 2 months. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is pretty impressive too, because I was one of the first people to order.
Yeah, I don't know. In theory, it's just printing shipping labels, so it should just be done in any order whatsoever. I've kickstarted stuff in the past where, originally they're like, yeah, whoever ordered first gets shipped out first, and then as it progresses and they get further and further backlogged, it's like, no, we're now shipping out the easiest ones first and the hardest ones last. And being in Australia,
as it always is.
Yeah, I get whatever it is like 6 months later, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember ordering that. I don't need it now. So, and funnily enough, they still impose a 3 t-shirt limit on all orders. Which I remember first time I was around was so they didn't sell out. And I'm willing to bet it's because they've calculated their postage on 3 t-shirts if they're still having a 3 t-shirt limit.
Oh yeah, if they have a fixed postage cost.
Yeah, well, it's $20, and I'm going to assume it's US. Your cart is empty.
Or there's a weight limit. It exceeds a weight barrier. for item shipping. They have to pack it differently and such.
Yeah, I can't get an estimation on shipping off the webpage, so that's a question for later. And then we have our settings little section of the Reddit, which is probably the more interesting. Well, not more interesting, more technical. Definitely more technical part. So. He says every so often someone makes a mod interface request that grabs his attention, not because of the actual benefits the request will give, although that helps. It's from a pure challenge perspective. I start thinking that sounds difficult and fun, because our setting's a little bit weird like that. I think I can do it. So how can I do that in a efficient and expandable way? Because that's a really big thing with our setting. He wants to make sure that one, it's not going to slow down the game at all, and two, that if somebody suddenly adds, I don't know, a whole new section of events or filters or whatever, his previous code is not going to be impacted in any way or as minimally as possible by suddenly something doubling in size. So somebody asked for a way to filter different prototypes from the game on the C++ side instead of having to do it all on the Lua side, which I thought all the APIs were written for the Lua side. I didn't know they wrote anything for the C++ side.
I think it means inside the actual Lua engine itself, or the Lua runtime.
Okay. Their reasoning made sense to him, and it was one of those challenging things that grabbed his attention. He finished it and has been out for several weeks. It's one of those things that in the patch notes that nobody reads down that far, except the actual modders. So then somebody asked him to do the exact same system for Lua events, mentioning most mod tools don't actually want most of the events they subscribe to, but only a small subset that would trigger a given event. And the best way to describe this is... okay, so my community map in the past has run different mods where, like, when a biter's killed, a tree is planted. And when you subscribe to a biter event, it's every single biter event. And then you're actually looking for a subset of that being biters are killed, and then possibly a subset of that of biters are killed by player or by player building rather than by other biter, which doesn't really ever happen. So maybe not a great example, or by train.
Main thing is you might be looking for a specific event is triggered on a very broad set and you only want a subset of it.
Well, up until now, before this, people have had to subscribe to like all the biter events and then literally have their script go, is it this? And if the answer's no, it just passes it and then has to wait for the very, very next time that event is called. And it can lead to a very, very big cost of a mod running in your game. If they can now filter it down to only looking for specific events are actually pulled out and fed into their mod, it greatly increases performance for a lot of these different mods. I know Lord Couture's Train Supply Manager was looking for something like this, and I think he found a workaround. I think his workaround was actually making the custom train stations. Otherwise, he could have used default train stations. But yeah, it's basically lets scripts just find a very, very small event out of a much larger group of events to, run more efficiently. So yeah, right up our settings alley. And in theory, if mod creators go and use these triggers correctly, it should speed up their scripts significantly.
Yeah, it would. Because it means I can see the main benefit being if you have a lot of mods, because every mod individually has to do their own filtering, event filtering,
which adds
so it
up.
means So if every time, like
every single time you put down a belt, if you've got 15 different scripts that are subscribed some way into player places item, or in this case, like we've got ghost written right here. If player ghosts item, you might have 15 of your mods actually looking for you to ghost an item. And that single action needs to be passed through phrased through all 15 mods before it actually happens again. And that can really slow things down.
It just compounds.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it very inefficiently, because it might need to do some calculation on top of it.
Yeah, it can really, really add up. I have a feeling that Rampant AI is probably one of those mods that could probably benefit from this, because it does a lot of checking for biters all the time. And
oh yeah, it would.
yeah, it can now just check for certain biters. So like biters are stuck on an island, just delete them. Biters are doing this,
Delete them.
delete them. Yeah, delete them is probably the thing that mod has to do the most of, because yeah, if the biters that move, it does a very good job of. The biters that don't move, lag out the game.
Although you could delete them with desync the multiplayer with rampant.
It does that all by itself. It does not need any improvements in that department. It has
Biter stuck. Desync.
It has got better.
Make a new attack group. Desync.
Yeah, it has got better, but yeah, that mod, I love it to death, but it's caused so many hassles over the years. And then we have the Factorio Extra Life charity stream. So if you've just finished watching this video, go over to Reddit, go over to there's a specific Reddit link. There's, last I looked, 3 streamers were streaming the Factorio event. I've already chipped in my money for one of them. I don't even. Oh, bad! I'm a horrible person. I don't remember who I donated to. Clonin, you did a horrible person. Oh no, maybe he did. No, he didn't even link to the correct... No, there it is, Reddit post. I can't see it because it's all green. There we go. I already donated to Ariel Baji. Yep. Earlier on today. So yeah, go over, have a look at these lovely streamers who are basically doing the Extra Life charity event, which I participated in 2 years ago with Factorio. Had I known it was on today, prior to today, I would have... Well, actually, I would have definitely joined in.
Yeah, I actually hadn't heard anything about it until today.
It's like, it was posted in Reddit 7 days ago, but I don't check Reddit that regularly. And with only 81 upvotes, yeah, it sort of gets buried fairly quickly. Yeah, like, Factorio has some really cool Razer Chroma integration at 1.7k upvotes. 81, yeah, gets missed very, very, very easily. And on top of that, they forgot to post in Reddit that they were going live until like 3 hours into the event, because I was watching at the time. So
Zan, who's one of the streamers, isn't he a moderator? Could have pinned it.
Yes, he could have.
There it is, pinned. 10 hours ago.
Yeah, that's the problem. They pinned it after the event started. Yeah, they are all the moderators. Or actually, maybe not all the moderators. Tassan is, and I think Secret Online is. I can't remember. I don't spend enough time on Factorio Reddit. Anyway, I think that's it for this Friday Facts, yes?
That's enough.
Yep, we should let everybody go over there and donate to charity, because it's for a good cause. Anyway, that's it. Go order your t-shirts, go to donate to the charity, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.